Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at some brand new products from the company Peak Designs. Peak Designs most specifically for the outdoor enthusiast, people who are typically cameramen, have good camera equipment, want to keep things sort of protected and managed while out on the trails. And I do personally use Peak Designs equipment. Most specifically, I have one of their awesome adapters. This little adapter goes on my sort of shoulder strap on my backpack. It allows me to take my camera, the one I'm literally filming with right now, clip it right on my shoulder strap and keep it comfortable and safe right on my shoulder so I can take it off in a moment's notice and get to filming. But today we're going to look at some brand new products, and in fact they're still at this time in the Kickstarter phase. So here in the bag, the outdoor backpack. This is a 45 liter backpack. There's also a 25 liter version, but I have the 45 liter here. We're going to look at this together for the first time in a little bit of an unboxing. But it's not just the bag. This can be built out as a system. And so I have a couple of camera cubes here which really do help to protect your gear. The camera cubes can be put directly inside the outdoor backpack to again make it more of a system. So Peak Designs integrating different components all together to make sure that if you're an outdoor enthusiast, if you have camera equipment, sensitive equipment, things you want to protect while you're out on the trails, you have the ability to do that. But maybe you don't need the heavy duty padding. We have the ultra light packing cubes. So 3 different sizes. These are available as part of the Kickstarter campaign, and all of this great gear coming together again as a system. So in today's video we're going to look at all of this together, but with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Peak Designs who did provide these for review. And if you like what you see here today, do me a favor, look at the description box below where you can get all of the relevant links. Again, at the time of this video and while I'm making this particular product is in the Kickstarter phase. So if you want to support, be an early adopter, jump on the links below and take advantage of a great deal. But as we get into this here, again, we'll go through this in detail together for the first time. So I'm kind of learning about this bag a little bit at the same time that you are. Now, I've gone through some of the literature. I do have a basic understanding of what Peak Designs is going for here. But in general, we're going to learn about all of the features together. The first thing I'm going to say, and I already kind of mentioned it, this is a 45 liter pack. So if you want the larger version, this is the 45 liter. This is in the color black. You can also get this in a 25 liter version. And not only do they have a black variant, but they also have a white variant at this time. And so to me, one of the main things that really caught my attention is the excellent contrast, the unique look in terms of the fabric and materials, and the excellent layout. Now, I'm a little bit of a bag junkie. I have myself quite a bag collection, and I do have to say I love myself a good, if not great, backpack. And right away, what I really enjoy is the subtle yet just nice touches that I can see the Peak Designs logo in gold, contrasting with just cleverly placed and usefully placed stitching, but also in that gold color, which I really, really like. First off, this is just an eye-catching backpack, has a real sleek look, and I like that quite a bit. Now, on the outside panel, this is a weatherized material, but I also did receive a rain fly for the 45 liter version. So you can absolutely use the rain fly if you need to. But I think by what I see here, between a roll top design, the ripstop nylon, which should be fairly reasonably, and I'm going to say reasonably, water resistant for light rain, not heavy rain, but light rain. And then in combination with that weatherized and ruggedized exterior, should be reasonably weather resistant for lighter mist and, you know, your basic dampness. But I think if you were going to get caught in a heavy rainstorm, having the rain fly with you would probably be advantageous. Now just removing some of the tags here. Now as we take a look at this, I am just basically going to read through some of this for you. But first and foremost, this is a unisex design. Torso size 17 to 20 inches. Waist size 24 to 52 inches. Weight, they're saying here, 3.97 pounds. So a pretty light bag, all things considered. And then they're saying you can fit a laptop in here. So keep in mind, again, the fact that this is going to be a general travel and gear bag as much as it is an outdoor bag. And this is intended for equipment, camera equipment, and clearly up to a 16-inch laptop. So as we work through this, they are calling this the TerraShell 210 denier ripstop nylon fabric, weatherproof construction, and again, I already mentioned the rainfly. So as we take a look at how this thing's going to open up, right away you see that there is this cord in the front, and it actually kind of continues and connects into the back top corner of the bag. So this here, you could really, in essence, just shove like a jacket or something in on the outside, which is very easy and convenient. You could even keep your rainfly in there, some basic essentials, or anything easily on the outside. But what I find is this does have a unique design. Keep in mind the fact you'll notice that this cord has some length on it. Well, as you grab your little grab handle tab here, and this feels like a Hypalon material. It is definitely bar stitched, bar tacked there, and very reinforced. And you literally just take this and pull it forward, and that opens this entire pocket right up for your ease of access and the ability to get in there. This is huge, and it's right on the outside of the bag. So imagine hiking along and you have a jacket on early in the morning, you're starting to come up to temperature and you need to take it off. Bottom line is, boom, that goes right in there. I don't even need to access the rest of the inside of the bag. So very advantageous, simple, right on the outside. And then when you need to cinch it up, again, very simple. Grab your little Hypalon tag, pull that right back out, and bada bing, bada boom. That is nice and tight. So right away, a very effective, simple mechanism, super easy. No hardware to fail. I like that quite a bit. Now you'll notice that the bag is quite tidy, nice and tight, compact, all sort of cinched together. There's a little hook here on the side, has a little bit of a shock keeper, and I want to say we just pop that off so you can see here that little shock keeper right on the side. Peak Designs logo right on there. Little pull tab to tighten things up. But again, just a little bit of a shock keeper there. And that was tied around right onto the side. But now that that's loosened up, this side pocket starting to open up, giving you a little bit of space. You end up with the mesh pockets right on the side. And the outside pocket, so sort of outside and then inside pocket. But the outside pocket, they're calling the side flex pocket, and as well as the internal pocket, but they're a different size. So you have a slightly smaller pocket here in the front, and then a taller one in the back. Now, again, keep in mind the fact, and I'm going to say, this bag can be perfectly outfit for the typical outdoorsman, yet the typical backpacker and the typical camera guy at the same time. Or I should say camera guy or camera gal. Which Peak Designs has a gorgeous, and I mean absolutely gorgeous, carbon fiber tripod, which this is not. I wish I had the Peak Designs carbon fiber tripod. It's a beautiful tripod, extremely well made, kind of all nests together, and is extremely compact. But this will do for the example. Now I love that this has this mesh pocket on the outside. This for me is where that tripod absolutely goes. You can see it fits in there, simple. And I still have the ability to get a water bottle right on the outside. You take your keeper, you bring it around, you clip it into place in one of a number of locations. There's a whole bunch of sort of daisy chain all along here, which makes it adjustable. And if I wanted to, I could bring this real up high, way up here, clip it off, or somewhere in the middle, clip that off, and then pull it nice and tight. And that retains whatever's in that pocket tight to the bag. That's a fantastic design and I love it. I think that's a great design, very well thought through, and especially where you also have the ability to put your water bottle on the outside. Extremely well done. I like that a lot. But you might notice that the bag is still held shut a little bit. Another keeper on top, the exact same mechanism. Now this is higher up on that daisy chain, so I'm going to unclip that there, which then allows this to open up even more. You're starting to see the full expansion and the full volume of this bag. Again, as you sort of open this thing up, you get more and more volume. But I love that as you cinch it down, it keeps it real tight, real tidy. Tight between your shoulder blades, minimizes how much fabric is just flapping around, especially if you're in an environment with a lot of trees and branches grabbing at you. The last thing you want to do is get snagged. So the ability to cinch this bag down, keep it tight and tidy, yet expand it at the same time, I can tell you that's a fantastic feature, well thought through, and something that I've come to love with my favorite backpacks. So that right away has me absolutely pumped. I love it. And you'll notice too that there's plenty of cord on the top of your external pocket, you know, that front flex pocket, plenty of cord. So everything now just opening up nicely, plenty of room, the ability to open this bag right up. So now that we've kind of opened up the side of the bag, you've seen how everything comes together sort of on the front. I do want to point out a couple of last pockets. So on the front flap here, on the front of your front flex pocket, you do end up with the ultra zip pockets. So on the side, little gold keeper here, some small little zippers, but right away I'm like, yep, nailed it. These are inverted zipper tracks, and they are rubberized and weatherized and fully protected. So this is almost, and I'm not going to say it is, but I'm going to say almost like dry bag setup, to where this external pocket should be very weather resistant. We're going to pull these zippers down, very small, dainty zippers, yet they look to be stout enough to be quality. Nice little keepers, branded with Peak Designs. Incredible, subtle little details. It's going to be hard for you to see, but a little Peak Design logo right on there. These guys are absolutely sweating the details to the finest degree. But as we open this up, again, inside, this here is your ultra zip pocket. Now for me, this is where I keep my snacks. This is where I keep my food. I keep my snacks and food on the outside of the bag so I can get to it easily while I'm on the trails. The last thing I want to do is rip my bag open and all my sensitive stuff just exposed to the weather. For me, having it right here on the outside, get to my food, get to my snacks, no problem. Some of the simple on-trail essentials can go right in here, but for me, that's very easy. You have one of these pockets on each side. So both on the right hand and left hand side, very simple. And I love the fact that these are basically like no snag zippers. There's no fabric really to get caught. I don't think the mesh would ever get caught. For me, super simple, super quick, super clean, nicely laid out, nicely done. Now inside on this side, you'll notice that you do have a key keeper. So if you wanted to clip your keys off, no problem. And there's a little bit of literature in here. A Peak Design sticker and a lifetime warranty. Lifetime warranty. Well, would you look at that? So that's a bonus. You're getting a lifetime warranty with your Peak Designs backpack. That's actually pretty awesome. Now as we continue through the outside of the bag, you'll notice that this is basically a roll top design. Is this a magnet? Get out of here! Yeah, man, magnet. Oh, you guys are awesome. Magnetic closure. Look at that. So simple. I was hoping it would be, and it is. That's so cool. Magnetic closure. And you can get into the main compartment of the bag right from the top. So if you like to top load your bag, there you go. Top load capability, nice and open, and so simple to get that where you need to. I love the fact that that's just a simple magnetic closure. That's so cool. Nicely done by Peak Designs. Now, as I've been sitting here, just checking out a couple of additional little things, and they're so subtle, but you need to see this. Now, first off, I'm in the front flap, okay? So inside of this front flap, and then as we open that up and get behind here, this is where I was saying you could stuff a rain jacket. Now, there's some daisy chain here. Then if you notice on the top of the bag, there's some loops here, here. There's loops all over this thing. And I'm going to say reinforced loops. Well, why? Because they offer you, and included with this, some keepers that have clips, and you can adjust them to length and pull them tight and use them all over the bag to cinch gear, different equipment, probably trekking poles, jackets, tents, you name it. These are built into this. They just clipped them in, they dangle into the pocket, and I was looking deeper into the pocket, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? Way down on the inside, and I won't really be able to show this very effectively, but way down, way inside, in the bottom corner, there's little slip pockets. So there's even mesh slip pockets all the way down in here, which would allow additional little gear, things that you could just kind of nest in there. I could see you putting maybe even your tent poles down inside there. So if you broke up your sleep system and put your tent poles down in there, they'd kind of just sit right here on the bag. This bag, so far, I'm already very impressed at this design. I'm already so impressed. This thing is phenomenally nice. But there's more. So I'm going to roll this roll top up again. We're going to get this whole thing kind of packaged up and tidy again. Tighten it down. And we're going to reverse the bag now and start to go to the back side. Now, a harness system can absolutely make or break a design. I can't speak to the comfort yet. I can't speak to the long-term use yet. But what I can speak to is a couple of things. We need to be a little bit careful. This is a unisex design, so it might not fit men and women equally. It might not be comfortable for women. It might not be comfortable for men. I don't know. All I know is typically men and women have a very different size, but I'm hoping that they have accounted for that in the unisex design with their harness system. They should have. So as we take a look at this, a couple of things that are fairly standard and some things that are very unique. First off, what is standard? Well, it looks like we have a nice padded shoulder strap, nice and wide. They are vented, so if you look deep inside, and the camera will not pick that up, but these are fully vented. Not only do you have the kind of, exterior mesh that you can see, but there's an interior vented mesh and foam that should vent all the way out. So these are like completely breathable straps. That's nice. I think I might have said standard. That is absolutely not standard. That's a nice enhancement over other bags for sure. But what I was going to say originally is that nice and wide, these clip in up high, so you can actually, well, this is like a load lifter strap. So you'll see here, they are again leveraging these clips as load lifter straps to pull the bag close and tight to the top of your shoulder so you can keep this loose and then get it dialed in perfectly once you get the load on your back and get this nice and tight and tidy right up against your back. You can loosen that up. And let's see, does this give us adjustability in the height of the strap? So you have like a G hook here, again labeled Peak Design. These are usually very effective to adjust to different sizes, which, yes, look, you simply remove this webbing, lower it down, 1, 2, or 3, so fully adjustable for your torso height, which again is 17 to 20 inches. I am definitely going to rock it all the way at the top, so this is going right back into place, which that went in very simple, and the G hook, not crazy easy, but not crazy difficult to get on. So that is super awesome. I love that. Working down the shoulder strap, so we got a couple of little pockets here. Now, you'll notice that this is kind of open through here, but then it ends up with a lashing point. Opening this up, a nice wide pocket. Will this hold my cell phone? If it does, My phone is huge, but that's going to be tight, yet it can do it. That's cool. So my cell phone, which is monstrosity, will fit in here. I can tell you most people will have absolutely no problem with that. Or certainly other items, GPS, you could put a radio, like a two-way radio, certainly anything like that. What is this little pass-through? So here we have our sternum strap, which is a little bit unique. They're kind of leveraging two clips. So you could probably go with one or both, depending on what you're trying to do. I'm curious how I'll like this. This could be hit or miss. And I'm not going to say make or break for the bag, but having a good sternum strap is key. But think about this. You can split this the way they do this because you're just leveraging daisy chain. And there's daisy chain, daisy chain, daisy chain, daisy chain, daisy chain, daisy chain, all the way down the strap. So what does that mean? Well, heck, put one of these up high and put one of these down low and really fine tune how you're pulling in the shoulder strap. Instead of one point of retention pulling at one sternum location, you can really fine tune the angle and how this thing pulls. I bet you can make this so crazy dialed in comfortable. You have to be able to. I'm calling it right now. This is potentially genius. This might be genius. So at this point, I'm actually pretty excited to see how this performs on the trails, most specifically because the more I unlock this bag and go through the details, the more and more I'm like, this thing is awesome. So that's not all, because as we continue through this, now I'm just going to loosen up my shoulder straps on the bottom, swing this out of the way, and if I fold these shoulder straps back, another beautifully done weatherized zipper track, awesome padding, you can see nicely ribbed, good airflow channel right up the middle, that same beautiful perforated foam, nicely done, but that weatherized zipper track. Fold these down, and bada bing, bada boom, we are again on the inside of the bag. But we have now taken advantage of the fact that this can be built out as a camera bag. And lo and behold, where do you think we put our camera cubes? Yup, these go right inside and create that perfect system with great organization and the ability to leverage this bag as a gorgeous camera bag. Well, we'll go through these in a little bit. Here you have your laptop sleeve, so a little bit of shock keeper on the side, a little bit of flex and give. You end up with a Velcro strap over the top. You can also leverage this clearly for a hydration bladder, which here you have that little connector for the top of your bladder. And I'm wondering about a routing port for the hose. Now, if we take a look here, I was going to say, usually that comes out the top of the bag. And as I sneak my way up here, yep, there is your routing hose port. So both right or left hand side, right up the top of the bag. So again, fully built out for flexibility and versatility depending on what you're trying to do. And you're not going to be able to see it unless I kind of open up the roll top. So getting back into the top of the roll top on the inside, this does have another mesh pouch, and you can see here, this is the place where I put my wallet, I put my keys, I put my sensitive items while I'm out on the trails, and this gets zipped shut, and I don't open this until I get back to my vehicle and I'm safe and sound. Awesome that it's on the inside, awesome that it's packed away, awesome that it's mesh and breathable. Everything about this is perfect for my needs, the right size, the right layout, and again, very nicely done in the top and inside of the bag. Now, I was curious about the rigidity of the bag, so the overall rigidity and sort of like frame, and there's maybe not too much information about this, but all the way around the exterior, I can feel right through this area. So outside of that weatherized zipper, but before the mesh pocket all the way through here. There's a stiff rib of probably some sort of, and I don't know if it's like an aluminum. It doesn't feel like aluminum. It might be steel, or, you know, it's a metal frame. And that metal frame comes up. It loops over the top from what I can tell. Feel some reinforcement in the corners here. Continues maybe into the shoulders. And maybe it ends in the top corners, but I would think it would continue and be a U all the way around. But my point in saying that is there is definitely a stiff reinforcement around the entire pack. You cannot fold this thing in half. So that's going to help to transfer the weight of the pack ultimately down onto your hips if this was designed properly. And that reinforcement, it's hard to say. I don't believe goes down into the waist belt, which is a little bit of a shame because, and I'm hoping this will carry well, but usually when that reinforced rib goes down into the waist belt, you can transfer a lot of the load onto your hips. But as we take a look at this here, a nice wide and very padded hip belt, same sort of foam design, very tall in terms of the overall padding. At almost 4 inches in height, that's a lot of width. So it will sort of distribute the weight on your hips. You end up with a nice quality pouch on the outside, so zippered pouch. Very simple. Again, simple things on the trails. Headlamp, your basic essentials, things that you need while you're on the go. Little bit of a lashing point here and some adjustability. So here you have your strap. This is a sort of, and I'm going to say like a polymer style buckle, clipping together. Not too large, but that should be ample for your needs. Wu Jin, which is nice quality Duraflex buckles. These are usually very high quality, so that's good. So Wu Jin always does a nice job. And a pull forward adjustment on metal buckles. And I want to point out that most of the hardware is metal. So here, this is plastic on your shoulder strap. Here, this is metal. So nice quality aluminum metal. Metal again on your G-hooks. So it's kind of like a combination, but everything seemingly very well put together. So you do have, again, those pockets, one on each side of the hip belt, and generally very, very nice. So a little bit of a dry fit here. Now, this is absolutely not going to tell me too much until I start to load this out, but starting to just get a feel for this bag. Again, nice quality components. Already feeling comfortable. Already feeling comfortable. Fitting my body size. I am about 6'1", 175 pounds. Most of my height actually does come in my legs. So I have a fairly normal, average, large size torso. I wear a large size shirt. And this fits me very well. I would say about perfectly. I typically have between a 20 and a 21 inch backpack. So being at 20 inches, it's on the smaller side, but again, seemingly fitting me very well. This is what I'm saying here. You can get up on these load lifter straps, and you should be able to tighten this right up against your shoulders, manage the load comfortably. Now, this is where, how am I going to feel about these straps? Now, these sternum straps for me definitely need to be lowered a bit, but as I get on the first one, clipping it over, this might be a weird mechanism and something to get used to, but that gets the bag on, and then to get off, that's actually pretty easy. I hope this doesn't wear over time. I hope this doesn't become a stress point. That's something that would need to be watched, but certainly that does work. And again, you can leverage a couple of these depending on what you're trying to do. And I would even go as far as to say having one a little bit lower might be advantageous. But that's pretty simple. And the bag definitely feels like it's going to be comfortable. Fits between my shoulder blades nicely. And is a very efficient design so far. So I'm digging this. I'm actually looking forward to getting this out on the trails. But this here is the small camera cube, so a 6-liter volume, fairly lightweight at 7.8 ounces. And this will fit a maximum camera with a lens of around 11.4 inches. Everything around the outside very similar to what we saw with the backpack. Little grab handle, some areas where you end up with that daisy chain so you can clip things off if you need to. Sort of that Hypalon style material holding all the webbing in place. The rubberized and weatherized zipper and these beautiful zipper tracks with nice oversized zipper pulls. And this kind of opens all the way to one side and clamshells open. Now you can see inside Velcro and padded dividers. The ability to set this bag up as you need. Has a cool little pouch here, so that's actually really simple. And you can configure this a few different ways. For the sake of the argument, I grabbed an old SLR camera with a 24 to 105 millimeter lens. And if I'm careful and kind of pull some of these dividers around and rework this thing, pretty simple, in a mere matter of seconds, this will pretty much fit in here with ease. So you can see that is more than capable of holding a camera of this size. Everything zipped up, fully padded and protected, and easily nesting inside the outdoor backpack. And this is going to live in the lower third, carry beautifully, and have plenty of room in the rest of the pack for other gear. But this here is the medium, so sort of smallish, medium camera cube. Now, side by side, you can see how these size up. All of these are basically in the same width so that they fit in the bag effectively. But here you can see that the small medium is taller, and there are 5 different sizes. So extra small, 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 medium, medium, and large. But again, all the same features laid out, very similar, a lot more dividers, and the ability to really break out a larger kit. Now you can see how many padded dividers are in here, the ability to get additional lenses, additional kit, and then again, you have that sort of small Velcro mesh pocket, which is cool. So just to give you the comparison, collapsing down the internal compartments, here's that same SLR, and you can see plenty of room on the sides for additional equipment, especially if I just get rid of the extraneous dividers. This will open right up and have a good amount of room. Also fitting in the lower portion of the bag, but at this point I would call it the lower half. So the smaller version being roughly in the lower third, this here being in the lower half, but you still have plenty of room up top for other gear. But now the ultra light cubes. So there are 3 sizes: extra, extra small, and small. You can imagine they are probably going to come out with additional sizes, especially if we're only talking about smalls. You know there will be mediums and larges, but a very simple mesh packing cube. Now, interesting, strap compatible. So you can almost turn this into a bit of like a crossbody style if you so choose, but an extremely lightweight little package. Very similar in the same regard that you end up with some of those loops, so you can connect this up in different spots in your bag. Remember, you have different connection points all around. See-through pretty much, so you can see any of the contents on the inside, and extremely simple. Very, very lightweight, simple little compartment that you can put some valuable gear in. You could certainly pack clothing in these and have a nice spot to just pack your clothing in there, no problem. I think between these you could definitely get things subdivided and extremely well organized. So the fact that these have, you know, a couple of cool features, that strap compatible, just a real neat little system, and really rounds out your backpacking kit. And so all in all, this outdoor backpack has me extremely impressed at my initial look and initial impressions. Of course, field use will prevail. Testing and outdoor experience and carry quality and how this functions on the trail will absolutely prevail. But what I'm going to say is, I have a lot of great experience with backpacks. I have a lot of great experience in the outdoors. And you combine those with the fact that I've been a photographer now for over 20 years. And all those experiences and all of my sort of general knowledge tells me that I'm going to love this bag. I know it already. If it carries as well as it looks as it's going to, if it functions as well as the layout tells me it's going to, this bag is going to be a fantastic winner, a fantastic ace, and just a master at what it does. Now, there are some things that I question in terms of long-term durability. I think the overall construction seems to be robust. It seems to have all the right features in the right places with the right components and the right stitching with the right ventilation and everything going for it. I just question a couple of things. Only time will tell. And of course, in combination with your organizers, the camera cubes, the lightweight organizers, just turning this into a backpacking system. And going all the way back to the beginning of the video, my ability to carry my camera on the shoulder strap. So going back to leveraging the clip, very, very good. So all in all, I am excited. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Look at the description box below where you can jump on this. Either get one at the Kickstarter phase, which I would highly suggest, or just wait till these hit the market later this year. Awesome design, very cool. Thank you so much to the people at Peak Designs for providing this for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel's growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there. So if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.